Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to Midnight Raceway Park. I'm Steve, and this week our tournament is going to be something unique. It's going to be all Subarus versus all Silverados. And I say versus, and it's not really a one-to-one matchup. The way I set up the starting grids was that I mixed two Subarus and two Chevys in each bracket. So for the groups of four that are going to be running four races individually, you'll see two Subarus and two Chevys in each of those groups. And this way, I think the competition will be a little bit more exciting. We'll see how it plays out. Just to recap for some of you who are new to this channel or new to some of my races, the scoring is, so at first we have four cars or trucks in one group, and they race four races. So their starting positions alternate. And we do that for the second group as well. That's round one. If you come in first for a particular race, you get 5 points. Second is 3. Third place is 2. And last place is 1. And if you do not cross the finish line, then you get 0 points. And after the end of those four races for each group, we tally up the points and go from there. The top two from each group will move on to the semifinals. If there happens to be a tie that affects who goes on to the semifinals, then we'll run a tiebreaker. And then in the semifinals, the matchups are going to be head-to-head. So whoever were the top two finishers from Group 1, they will then compete head-to-head, again, racing 4 times. No, wait, is it 4 times? No. So I apologize. For the semifinals, it's the first competitor to win 2 races in a row. So basically, they have to win on both tracks in order to go on to the finals. And then the finals will be scored the same way. It'll be a head-to-head matchup, and the first vehicle to win 2 consecutive races will be crowned the champion. And I want to shout out to all of the, I need to come up with a good term. Those who picked cars, basically. I don't want to call you the pickers, because that just sounds almost derogatory. But I'll come up with something for you. But we got Big Richard Productions, and again, I apologize if that's meant to be pronounced a different way. I'm just kind of pronouncing it as I see it. Larry Stipe, 3170, Goliath Dave, Lobotomy Scam, 1051, who I believe is new to the picking of cars. Congratulations. No, but thank you very much for being involved with this. Vaticali X and Ralph Racers, GDM Racing 1, again, another newbie. Happy to have you here. And Mr. Crankbait, also a newbie to the picking of cars. So I wish you all good luck. I'll see you on the flip side. right, well, we're back from that. Big shout out to Ralph's Racers. Congratulations. I know this is your first win here on this channel, but you've been with it from the beginning. So I'm really happy that you came in first this week. It was really exciting. On the less positive note, I was not happy with this video. I just felt disappointed with the outcome. A couple of things I think fed into that. One being that even though I did test the Subarus and the Silverados on the track to make sure that they, didn't fall off the curves or could handle them and all that stuff, clearly the Silverados could not handle the curves as well as the Subarus. So, I mean, you could tell looking at the video that the Subarus overall were just outperforming the Silverados. It wasn't even really that much of a competition. There wasn't a whole lot of action because, generally the Subarus were so far separated from the trucks. I don't know. And also the video angles. I wasn't really pleased with my choice of video angles for this video. So I don't think I'll be doing any more, X versus Y kind of things. I'm more into mixing it up a little bit. So we'll going forward, I think that's probably what I'm going to be focusing on. So clearly I'm still playing around with the settings, doing some trial and error, trying to figure out what angles are the best. And I'm narrowing it in. This is only the fifth, I think, tournament that I posted. So still growing, still learning. And I appreciate all of you guys hanging around, supporting me as I kind of figure this stuff out. But I hope you're enjoying it too. I'm certainly enjoying creating these videos and watching the races play out. So I'm not exactly sure what is next on the docket, but I do know one thing, and I want to give a shout out to Ralph's Racers because he's the one that kind of mentioned this to me in one of our messages. I think, so for those of you who are not familiar with Redline Derby, it's a website that's focused to all things diecast racing. There's a section in there on how to build tracks. There's a section on there on races. So this website, a lot of, really people who are very, very focused and interested in diecast racing are members on this website. So the next tournament is going to kick off on April 27th. And however, I'm not going to, it'll still be on YouTube, but the place to pick your cars for my next event will be, you'll have to be a member on Redline Derby. It's all free, and you get also exposed to a lot of other things that are diecast racing, if you're interested in that. But I want to focus one of my races, so this will be the next race, solely on for members on the Redline Derby website. So if you want to participate next week, just hop on over to Redline Derby, sign up for a membership, and then you'll see in the forums there, I'll announce when my race is going to kick off, and you can pick your cars on that website. After that, I'll be coming back to YouTube and doing what I've been doing. But for next week, I really want to do a 16-car tournament of mixed makers, right? So they're going to be street cars, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, all of those name cars, as opposed to fantasy cars that Hot Wheels likes to put out. And I really hope to do a 16-car tournament then. And then after that, we'll come back to YouTube. So that's what's coming up. I think I've kind of announced everything that I needed to talk about. If you have any topics that you want me to delve into or explore a little bit, if you have any ideas for future races that you'd like to see, anything at all, just put it in the comments. I read and reply to everybody that posts anything. And I really appreciate all of you guys that picked a car this week, and congratulations again to Ralph's Racers. I'm really excited that you were the winner this week. We'll be in touch so I can figure out whether or not I can actually afford to ship one of these mystery models out to you, but that's a discussion that we'll have later on. So everybody take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later.